Hey everybody, Kim here with Little Biz Resources, and I know we're probably going to have a slight delay of people getting on because we don't really do this on Zoom, and I couldn't connect to Zoom, and that's a long story, but we'll talk about that another time. For now, let's see here. What time is it? It is, I'm actually technically a minute early, so I'm going to give it just a little bit longer and see if we can get anybody else on here. I am not entirely sure. That's supposed to be no, that is a little dog. Yeah, there's a little dog on there, right? It says subscribe. Well, like the video, subscribe, and then it points to the notification one. I don't think that one's supposed to be on yet. I don't know why it goes so slow. I tried speeding it up and it wouldn't work. Anyway, so that is one of the things we're actually going to talk about briefly a little bit later, is my completely new setup. You'll be like, wait, Kim, this is different. I kept the PowerPoint the same, which, by the way, is in full screen. I know it's not full screen for you because there's like stuff in the background and everything, but that's because since I don't have a webcam and I have no webcam capabilities on my computer, for those who don't know, in the past, I have tested it and the camera just blinks in and out. Nothing wrong with the camera. It's definitely the computer. So, well, for those of you on the replay, I kind of want to get started so that you don't have to skip around. And I'll try to put timestamps on here later as well. So let's go ahead and get started. And today, of course, let's make sure it really is August 5th. Yes, it is August 5th, 2021. And this is the progress report. So the progress that we're working towards, and by the end of this month, I'll start having numbers. But the point is to build the website traffic to 25,000 visitors by the end of the year. And that's not really the ultimate goal. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. So the project, the simple version, this is a recap for those of you who are just joining us, is we're going to be, I say we, when I say we, for anything Little Biz Resources, I mean I. So I'm going to build a blog, which I already have. It's actually an article site. And I have ads on there already, I think. It's really hard for me to test because I have an ad blocker on my entire internet. So I don't get a whole lot of ads that make it through. So I can't really test it unless I'm out and about. Sometimes I'll use my phone and check, and usually there's one that pops up. But I don't get enough traffic right now to make it and say, oh yeah, the ads are doing wonderful, because I just don't get enough traffic. So it's between placing ads and promoting products. And that's affiliate products and CPA products. I've been converting the Little Biz Resources website to an article blog site, and it kind of is there. There's just still some reviews that need to be, I don't know, maybe kicked to the bottom or put in their own section. And eventually, when you go to the main page, there'll be sections instead of articles, because right now I just don't have enough articles to divide them into sections. Now, monetization, or how I'll make money on the website, is through Google Ads, which is AdSense, affiliate marketing, and CPA marketing. Now there's a secondary monetization, which is email marketing, by collecting emails through the opt-ins for affiliate products and CPA products. So as an example, I promote a training, which I teach a training on how to share content for Facebook and build your Facebook page. We built an entire 10,000 plus, it's actually over 11,000 subscribers now, and we haven't been doing anything. We're still getting subscribers, and I'm like, I really got to go in there and do something with that page. But when my sister and I were working on it before, we built it up to, I don't know, a couple thousand. We had some ads at the beginning, but then we ended up just saying, you know what, we don't know what we're going to do, because we stopped that particular business model, but we don't want to lose the page. And so I switched to a strategy that I talk about, but I don't teach how to monetize it, because we never did that, right? We did monetize it at the beginning, but by the time we were doing the strategy, we weren't running it for money. So instead, we refer you to a training from somebody who does that. That is an affiliate product. So when you sign up, you're opting into my list, and then you go into the training from I can't remember the guy's name. Anyway, from him, where he teaches it. The strategy is exactly the same. I just never added on monetization, right? So if you want to monetize it, you watch his, and then you turn around and say, okay, I'm going to purchase the program. Then I would make an affiliate commission, but I also have your email opt-in, right? So even if you don't buy it, I still have your email, and eventually, because I always promote amazing stuff, that you're going to go, oh, you know what? Kim's right. This is something that's amazing. And before you get all, I don't want to buy anything, you can support me by viewing my pages, right? Viewing my pages. Show support by reading the content that I'm putting out there, providing me feedback. So that's something else that, a lot of people don't think of. They think, oh, well, all of these affiliate marketers, all they want is money. No, we don't. Not all of us, at least. I actually want to help people. I just monetized so I can pay bills, right? All right, so let's go on past the project a little bit. So the money goal, and this is the real goal, is $3,500 per month revenue. Now, I have other businesses, and the reason why you're like, that seems like a low goal, Kim, and that's because I really don't need a ton more than what I'm making now to get to a level. And there's a reason why, and I talked about that in the first one and everything else. But that amount, I want that amount to be separate from all the money that I'm making and it's paying for stuff and everything right now, right? I want that to be above and beyond what we're doing right now in all my businesses. Again, I am doing all my businesses. So in the first one, I talked about how I came up to this conclusion with a traffic goal of 25,000 visitors per month by the end of the year. And that's just to be on par for it, which means I don't have to get 25,000 visitors in the month of December. That would be nice. So that is just kind of recapping what the goals were. Now, I wanted to go over the general marketing plan because I kind of added something on that I forgot about. So the general plan, it's a broad path still at this point. So each marketing channel has its own strategy that I'm going to have to develop, test, and adapt. This alone is huge, right? That takes a lot of time. But again, the whole point of this is to say, hey, if I am a solo person, normal solo person that, if I were not, well, even if I were not Kim, or if I were not, somebody who already has 10,000 followers, which I don't have 10,000 followers, right? I have like 10. There's like 10 of you guys that are active on a regular basis, even though there's several hundred in the group. And then I have people following me on this channel, not as much as the old channel. The old channel had way more. I don't know why, but it did. So, this is huge. This is something that we should be able to do, and I'm trying to figure out the easiest path, but sometimes it's not that straightforward, right? I mean, something happens every week. So these are generally the channels, and I'm still kind of developing plans for them all. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So Pinterest, it's a great channel for blogs and articles, specifically like that kind of content. Lots of people on this platform are looking for information, which translates well to blogs. There is a change to Pinterest, which we'll talk about in a couple pages. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Obviously, I'm on Facebook and YouTube right now because those are two that relate very well to what we're doing. Oh, I need to change this. There we go. So for some Facebook love, how about this one? That's pretty cool, right? Yeah, I will be teaching how to do this, by the way. All right. So again, Facebook and YouTube are so far our primary ones. I kind of think Instagram might turn out to be better than I give it credit. I'm hoping maybe that's just wishful thinking. I don't know. We'll see. LinkedIn is kind of a pain. Like every time I connect the RSS feed, it only lasts for a couple months, then it disconnects, and then I start building up momentum, and all of a sudden I get these emails from Buffer or IFTTT, wherever I have it connected. Yeah, you lost the connection, can't do anything. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So we'll see how well that goes, but that's how I'm doing LinkedIn. I'm thinking about building LinkedIn because I'd love to be able to do a live feed there as well, because I think I could build some momentum there. But the problem is that you can't live stream to LinkedIn unless you have like so many followers and all these requirements. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know anything about LinkedIn. And in fact, when I logged in today, I was like, oh yeah, my thing's like way outdated. And I was like, the contact information doesn't work and everything. And I go, here, let's put this back up there for a second. I go, what on earth? I don't understand why I have these messages. And every single message I have. Now, I changed my thing before. I forgot to change the description of it, but I changed my main thing to say I'm a free coach, right? I'm a free coach. So I'm not interested in paying somebody to help me get in front of people when I don't charge money. So I get messages from like multiple people saying, oh, I watched your stuff and I can help you. I can help you build this. I'm sure you can. I am sure you are wonderful at what you do, but I am not going to pay for a service that's not going to make me any money, right? That's business 101. Don't pay for things that don't make you money. And sadly, I have to remind myself of that all the time, right? Kim, why are you paying for that? It's not making you any money. So again, I waste a lot of money doing that as I test things and find out that. So anyway, so back to LinkedIn is that I get frustrated with the whole the only people that are on there and finding me are people who want to spam me with what they want me to buy from them, not people who are actually interested in the content I have to provide. So I'm not really committed to saying, hey, I want to change the LinkedIn method right now, but I might do a little bit more on LinkedIn and see if I have time. Now, I put an asterisk here that talked about Google News setup, and that's relying upon Google to actually show content, so it's not a guarantee. I will eventually do that, but at the rate I'm going, you'll see how fast I'm moving. That's not exactly in the stars anytime soon. So the one I added on here was write free ebooks and publish on Amazon. I totally forgot that was something I was going to do until I think Echo started talking to us, which is the Alexa or whatever, but we call it Echo because my daughter, when she was little, couldn't say it, so she could say Echo. And so we just named it Echo instead because that was one of the options. Well, something happened. I think she was asking it something and it answered and it says, oh yeah, by the way. And I went, oh my gosh, I forgot I was going to do those. Hey, I should totally get back to that. In fact, I should prioritize that. I've got enough content on my Facebook or on my main page now that I should be able to start driving traffic there. I've got the opt-in set up and everything. So there's no reason why I can't start doing that and seeing if I can drive traffic from that. So that's something I definitely need to prioritize. And then, of course, I left on here the RSS feeds are set up already. And RSS is really simple syndication. And it just means it's taking it from one place and sending it to another. So in this case, taking it like from my blog or from my YouTube channel and sending it to other properties, right? That's what the RSS feed does. It kind of automates it. So I want to recap on the numbers because this is important for progress, right? If you remember, I needed to get 25,000 views per 30 days. So that's what we're going to call a month, right? So 834 views per day over 4 channels. I said that's going to be 209 articles I need on the website. That's what I decided I needed. Now, again, I don't know if this is going to equal $3,500, right? It might be 1,000 views equal that. Who knows? Not as an ad spend, but because remember, I'm doing affiliate marketing and other stuff as well on the CPA things. So it might not be 25,000 views, but we'll revisit that over the next few months. So the goal originally was to start with an article per day. And then as I had time, add in a second article here or there, or as I saw certain days where it was. I'm going to go with goals now, right? So you notice I didn't answer that last one. Okay, post videos. I said I was going to post videos, keyword research, 3 parts, right? I nailed it. That's the only thing I nailed. I had a 4th video scheduled for today on nonetheless on how to schedule YouTube because I figured that would be fun for people to eventually use. So that's the only thing I nailed was I made 4 videos and had them scheduled. I scheduled them, learned how to schedule it and everything. It's not hard. In fact, you don't need a video. I just figured I'd make it just in case. So schedule 7 articles to start August 1st. I got 1 posted. Right? 1 posted. And this is something that I know a lot of people talk about, like, oh, pay somebody to write your content. I'm committed to not doing that. Right now, at the end of the year, I may change my mind, but until the end of the year, I am not paying someone to create content. I'm going to do this like a normal person that's starting and says, hey, I want to do it myself. I don't have the resources, right? So that's what I'm doing is I'm taking it from that spot where I was at one point and saying, look, I'm going to do it that way again. So because of that, I only got 1 post done. Well, 1 article. Now, I have like 4 or 5 other ones written, but there's something with the images. Like I do images and it takes me longer because I'm trying to make them unique. I don't know why. It's just, you've put in this training in your head for SEO stuff. And if you're not doing SEO, if SEO is not your primary thing, you've got to take that back out. And it's really difficult for me to just subtract that out. Hey, take the SEO stuff out of my brain. No, it doesn't work that way. Oh, here, wait, let me go ahead and do this again. We did the YouTube one, so we'll do for some Facebook love, right? I like these, but I definitely need to do different hotkeys. So if you guys have never used an OBS, this is Streamlabs OBS. If you've never used this, it's amazing for streaming. I'm paying for their Prime to be able to stream to multiple locations, 2 right now, but eventually, like I said, maybe 3. All right, so content takes time, and yes, I think that eventually if you can get to the point where you are outsourcing that in some way, it's worthwhile. But when we're all getting started and we are saying, hey, that's our goal, we may have to create the content. So I have to kick it up a notch there. Social media assets to go along with those posts. Now, I did share the one that I did and the videos that I did. I shared them into the group, at least some of them, not all of them. And I do have an RSS feed connected to both my, site and my videos. So it's not like it just sat there and didn't go anywhere. It did go out places. So that's something to keep in mind, is that this is why I love automation, right? Is that even when you fail miserably, you didn't fail, because you still did something, even though you didn't do it. You set it up in the first place. And that's something I really think that people should consider. This is why automation is critical. And this RSS feed cost me $2 a month. And I think right now, I think they jumped the price to like $5 a month or something. And that's IFTTT, or IFT. If this, then that. That's what it is. And I'll do a whole thing on my website about it eventually. In fact, pretty soon. Maybe that's what I'll do one of my posts on this week. Part of it, at least. So again, I didn't fail miserably because I had that in place. Now, opt-ins for various free training rotate into promotion. I tested some new traffic, and it's something that I wasn't sure it was going to work, but somebody else had recommended it. It's kind of not great. It's definitely super low quality traffic. But I said, you know what? I'll give it a try for a month and we'll see what the pros and cons are. A lot more cons than pros. Okay. And this is why I test this stuff. And I got a week into it and I went, this is crap. That's what I said. I'm like, I'm not doing this. And so I will talk about this in a video eventually. But for now, just know that I decided not to rotate it in. I wanted to test this other one. I didn't want to mess it up. And I didn't want to create more pages. So I think I'll finish out the month with this one the best I can. And then I think I'll be done with it if nothing happens. Now, the high ticket PDF report. I did make some progress. I collected the list of the resources and I have all the links and everything. But there's a few... sorry, I need to, I guess, refresh the chat maybe. I don't know, it was blinking at me, something, okay. Or maybe I just noticed it. It wasn't really blinking. I just noticed it randomly. So anyway, so I just need to kind of compile it into the report or whatever I decide to call it. Continue to fine tune strategies. We're going to talk more about this on the next screen. I can talk. Start working on quiz for the website. Now, this isn't necessarily complicated, and I've talked about this briefly, I think, last time. The idea of the quiz is for somebody who wants to start an online business but doesn't know what they want to do. And this comes from the fact that we have so many people in groups, ours included, that they come in and they say, you know what, I bought this course and I'm not going to do what they're teaching. I'm not doing Facebook ads, or I'm not paying for marketing. I'm doing all free resources. I'm not going to be on Pinterest and pinning all the time. Whatever it is, they always say that they're not going to do something, right? I'm not going to do customer service. That's a big one. I'm not going to handle customer service. Okay, well, if you're not going to pay somebody, then you shouldn't be in an industry or in a particular business that does that, which there are some, right? And that's the whole point of the quiz, is to say, hey, will you do this or this? And then to point them, say, hey, these are 2 or 3 different type of business models that you might like. And that would at least get them start understanding, okay, the reason why I may not like this other one is because of this. And I think if people knew that before they went into buying something big ticket like that, and then they were disappointed if they were to come in and say, yeah, I am willing to do that. So this one would work for me, because there's 2 things that I see that stop people. One is I'm guilty of constantly, right? Putting too many buns in the oven and they never get cooked. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's what I feel like it should be a thing, right? You put the cookies, they're too big, you put them all in together and you even cook them the right time and you're like, why are they not cooking right? Yeah, that's because you shoved them all together and shoved them in there and it's going to take longer to cook. So everything takes longer than people expect because they're doing more, they're adding more steps into it, whatever. And a perfect example of this is the CPA training that my sister and I are doing. It is so simple. It's like ridiculous. You add your pages, and which is like 3 pages, right? You've got your opt-in, you connect it to your email thing. I mean, it's really very simple. There's a few steps and then you're done. And then it's all marketing. Well, they do ads. And it's like, you want to make sure everything's working beforehand. I've had everything working for a week. I have not pulled the trigger on ads, mostly because I hate running ads because I'm always worried. This is the whole thing, right? Fear of failure. Well, I don't want to spend $100 on ads or $200 on ads and have no results. It might happen, but I'm like, I'm not ready for that. So that emotional roller coaster part is one of those things, but I could still set up all this stuff over and over again and do free strategies. Of course, we see how that's working already. Except those make money, so you think I'd be more motivated, but we'll see. Those are some things I have to constantly remind myself about. So, anyway, so that was one thing. What did I say? The other one was they put too much on their table, and the other one that I see is that they don't think that they can do it, right? I can't do that. I can't run Facebook ads. So it's kind of the same thing right there, right? Both of them together. So let's see here. Where was I? Start working on quiz, load affiliate course into the Facebook group. I did start loading it. In fact, I've loaded 15, 16 posts. A couple of them I need to redo because things have changed, right? So there's like the email marketing one that I had in there. It's like kind of an overview with affiliate marketing. Yeah, whenever I had like 7 posts for it, and the biggest problem is that like 4 of the things that I've talked about in there changed. So, I mean, changed enough that it's worth re-recording. So that's on my list to kind of revisit and revise. And then I'm going to stop pushing people towards the ones that I like and just say, look, you're going to have to figure it out, because if you have a resource, you should use it as long as it works. And that's what I keep running into. Chrissy and I are talking about that all the time, right? We have to use one email marketing platform for this software. We have to use a different one for this software because those are the only ones that'll connect. And then I'm like, well, my favorite one is this one. It doesn't connect to hardly anything. So I'm like, well, how do I make it work so I can still do what I want with what I want and use as few resources as possible? So that's what I've been working on that for the last month, cleaning up and moving stuff over. And that takes some time. So there's all these little things. It's not like when I'm giving you guys a progress report that I'm just reporting a handful of things. There's like 50, 60 things that happen in the week that I do to clean things up or tidy it and move it or whatever it needs to do. Like I need to move all my hosting. Well, not all of it, just the ones that are broken because of Elementor Pro. And it's not their fault. It's something changed either in the hosting or with Google. I don't know which one. And since I can't figure out which one, the only option is to move those particular sites. So that's what I have to do. And I think I only have like 2 left or something. So that is the goal on that. I'm going to, also I can't put a lot of links in there. So like if I say, hey, check out this, even if it's not an affiliate link, if it's going to a page that has affiliate links pointed to it, it can flag in Facebook. So that's risky. And because it's risky, I don't want to do it. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a link page and then push everything that way. All right. So let's revisit the strategies real quick. So Facebook doesn't like software tools. Okay. The reach is very low on Facebook. Very low. No matter what I try to do. And this doesn't matter if it's on my 10,000 plus page or something else. I've looked. Now I can't obviously see the back end of other people's big brand pages or anything. But I suspect this is normal, that, at one point, like a year ago, it was, 10% is what you could expect to reach. I don't even think it's that high. I think it's dropped even lower now. Facebook really wants you to pay for ads. And I think that's why their ad spend is still increasing. They keep reducing the reach and reducing the reach and reducing the reach. And that's forcing even small brands to say, okay, fine, I'll spend $50. Yeah, you get 100,000 small businesses spending $50 a month. You're bringing in some money, right? That's their whole goal. So even though they don't cater to them, in fact, because they don't cater to them, the success of them is even lower, but they're like, you know what? I need the brand recognition, or I need to just get my name out there. Or somebody tells them that and says, yeah, just do it. Because of that, it makes it really, Facebook's really difficult. So I'm like, oh my gosh, but I know it's critical because there's so many people on Facebook, right? If I want to find people, I need to be on Facebook. Now, Facebook Live presentations are still favored, at least as far as I know. And so I adapted live streaming strategy to include Facebook, as is such today. And that's because I said, oh, you know what? I need to give it a good try. And, we had talked about this last week, doing something like StreamYard or some other ones. And it just really came down to, I need to be able to do recordings at the same time. And I think StreamYard does do recordings. Like, it just depends on what you're paying for. So I shouldn't rely on my computer so much, but I really liked Streamlabs OBS because you can do all these different overlays and everything else. And I remembered using it like a year ago or something and never really got into it, but I knew it was pretty easy. So I went back to it, and literally yesterday and today I've been learning about it, and my daughter's like so excited because she's like, I can stream my games. She's 8. And I said, well, we got to figure out how to distort your face because apparently that's a thing. I don't think it is, but whatever. She wants to be a cartoon anyway. So I'm going to try to figure that out. So I adapted the live streaming strategy to include Facebook, and we're going to give it a try, right? Instagram doesn't, also owned by Facebook, also doesn't like software tools. However, I'm going to use a software tool and give it a test, right? Because I still need to get that one going, and it's going to be difficult for me to do much more than just schedule stuff, whether it's manually or with a tool. The tool that I use is a little bit faster. It's actually a lot faster than manually scheduling it. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and test it. If I get any reach with it, then it's worth it. Pinterest has made changes to their algorithm. Like, literally, I don't know if you guys remember, which I think I mention it all the time now. They did this mass shutdown at the end of July sometime. Maybe it was beginning of July? No, end of July. August 1st, possibly. And the Little Biz Resources Pinterest account got shut down in it, which is just something that they did. I did nothing wrong. Most people didn't. But everything kind of, whatever they did then, I think they did. So how do I explain this? So think about this. Somebody went in and changed code within Pinterest, which is the algorithm, right? So it determines when things are shown, right? So they changed the code at that time. When they changed the code, it created this mass shutdown for no reason because it just caught them up. Now, this, again, Pinterest used to do this all the time. Every single one of my accounts has been caught up in this at least once. Well, only once, because usually once you're caught up when you've caught up and not done anything wrong, you usually don't get caught up in it again. And that's what happened, right? My other accounts weren't touched. This one was. And so you got to think they changed that code, then obviously there's going to be changes to the way that Pinterest functions because they just told it to function differently. So they just went in there and said, hey, Pinterest platform, do this instead. Now, we don't know what that was, but I can tell you I'm in another group that is watching stuff, and people are reporting, and this seems to be the new norm, that instead of pinning something, getting a lot of movement on it, and then having it just kind of either take off or slow down, it actually goes in, gets this tiniest bit, like a little test piece of traffic, and then it just sits there for a while. And just sits there. And you have no idea if it's going to take off or not. So because of this, it means it could take a while before I see any results. And it would also help if I'd follow my own Pinterest strategy and actually post some stuff. Remember, I do have an RSS feed that's posting things in there. And I did post some stuff before. And interestingly, I went back in and looked, and I've had at least a couple of clicks to my page from Pinterest, which is way more. Like 2 is way more than I've ever had. I think I had like 1 before in the past. I'm going, oh, wow, that's crazy. And I haven't done anything, right? So that's pretty good news. Now I have to go in and really start tracking that better if I want to, but not until I start posting more. And that's the catch now is, okay, you could post for a month, for 2 months, and we don't know how long, right? It's all new. So let's say that you post for a month and you don't get any results and you give up. And really what Pinterest wanted to see was, hey, are you going to be dedicated longer than other people? And some people will do it and do it and do it, and they just don't care. They don't look at the numbers. They just keep doing what they're doing. I don't know if that's helpful or not, but what I can say is that a lot of these platforms are requesting consistency. which is problematic for somebody like me. I'm not very good at that. So that's something else I need to work on. Now, YouTube, I adapted live streaming option from Zoom to Streamlabs OBS. And that's because that way I can do both channels. And I also was able to batch record videos. So when I did those 3 keyword ones, I broke them out, part 1, part 2, part 3, right? So they're shorter, they're easier to consume. And then I scheduled them. So I had stuff coming out every day. That's that consistency part again, right? That's what scheduling tools, and again, software and automation and everything, that's all useful for that. So YouTube, I'm thinking I might have to do more live streams to test it out more. There's a lot of functionality to Streamlabs OBS that I haven't used yet. Like you can create events in advance and then connect to them and everything. So I haven't tested that again. I just basically downloaded this yesterday. And I think I've done pretty good. I mean, I gave you guys a background to look at since I don't have a camera. I think that's nice. And it's pretty green. I'm going to probably change my PowerPoints though, just so you know, so it looks a little bit better together. Dang, why do I keep doing that? All right, so now we're to the goals for the week. Last week I posted 1 article. I'm going to post 3 articles within the next 7 days. I'm going to try to get them up and get them scheduled. Ideally more than that, but I'm like, okay, 7 seems a little out of reach. So maybe I'll just try to focus on Monday through Friday. And then I'm like, I want to give myself, from when I said 7, I only did 1. Let's split the difference and see if maybe I can make it to 3. Scheduled 2 pins per day on Tailwind. Tailwind is one of the tools that I use, with publishing starting tomorrow. Okay, so that gives me, and the reason why I say only 2 pins is because that's something else that is a flag for Pinterest. Is, hey, if you are pinning, if you go from not pinning at all, which I haven't been pinning, and you start pinning 10 pins a day, that's a huge flag for Pinterest. Right? I don't know why, because somebody joins, they're going to do a bunch of pins, then they're going to stop, they're going to do a bunch of pins. So I don't see why, but supposedly that's one of the triggers. And then finish the high ticket affiliate reference guide / ebook. I think that would be a good one. I think that would also be a good one to test on Amazon. So if I can get it into an ebook, that would be the format I'll do, and then I'll probably publish it there as well. Finish loading the affiliate course and cleaning it up with the link list. That is, while it's a priority, I am limited by Facebook's willingness to cooperate with me during the times that I'm working on it. So I'm going to put that as a goal, give myself a week. Hopefully it'll get done. I can get a lot done in one night as long as it keeps moving. Sometimes it just stops. And I'm like, I need to edit this. I need to edit this. Or if I stop making mistakes, that would be helpful too. All right, then generate initial quiz and post in a group for you all to test, because you're the people that would be the best to say, hey, you know what? I don't like customer service, but this isn't so bad, right? Like, you didn't list this, and I think it would qualify. That would be, good things to know. Then create 2 posts per day for Instagram, which, by the way, Tailwind is also useful for that as well. I don't know if it's going to be very effective, but they have a really cool tool, and I want to try it out. Fully try it out. I've tried it in the past. I've done some videos on it for you guys in the group or on our prior version of our lives, and it's really cool. Then record at least 4 new videos, right? I said 3 and made 4, so let's try 4 new videos to schedule during the week. I think I can batch these. Sorry, I'm getting grabbed my hand. I can batch these all, like tomorrow if I have time. I can come home after my daughter's swimming and do it. Oh no, I can't. Tomorrow's Friday. Maybe Monday. Oh, Friday. I don't get the basement to myself. I never get the basement to myself, but I think she's locked in the bathroom. No, she's good. The door sticks for some reason. So we'll record 4 new videos, right? Then we're going to test live streaming at least one other day, but it'll be specifically with topic training, right? So we do live stream once a week with this update. Then maybe if I can schedule a second time during the week to do an actual live stream, then I will do that. Now, I will tell you that there is a way to use Streamlabs OBS as live streaming, but with a recording. Now, the challenge with that is ethically, you should be notifying people that you're doing that. And I don't know if it matters or not to algorithms, because I don't know that I can tell. So you could just have a flash up saying this was recorded earlier, or something like that. And it would be fine. And in fact, it would be really easy to do. You could just put like a Sorry, you guys can't see, but you know, like down here where I have, where I have that little guy, right? You can, instead you can maybe put some sort of overlay that says recorded, recorded earlier or something, and streaming live for your time zone. I don't know, something. You can put something in there, right? We haven't done this in a while either, right? That one's fun. That one's huge. I couldn't make it any smaller and make it go across the entire bottom. I have to work on that. All right. So those are the goals for this week. I think that's it for my things. Yep, that was it. There we go. So I don't know if I can actually see. I'm supposed to be able to see chat. I can tell that people are on, but I can't see anything in the chat. So if you're writing something or you're putting it in the chat, I don't even know where the chat would come from. I mean, it says Facebook here, and then it says multi-stream. And I know you guys can't see it because it's on the other screen. But it's, so cool. I wish I knew more. I wish I'd figured this out more. So if you put something in there, I'll look at my phone, see if there's anything, no notifications there either. Well, if you put something in there, I will eventually see it. I'm sure at some point. It'll give me a notification either through Facebook or YouTube. So, oh, Marjorie, I see you. So, and it tells me that you're on Facebook. Oh, that's so cool. I gotta tell you, that's pretty cool. I wonder if I'm in. Which I'm in. Oh, that's weird. So it shows it to me twice on the Facebook tab, but when I click multi-stream, it shows it to me once. Huh. I can't reply. It won't let me, it's just read only straight on it. But I can obviously say something. That's the whole point of it, right? So that's pretty cool. So here, you're on Facebook. Let me give you your little likes and loves again there. That's pretty cool. You can do really cool stuff with this. It's pretty neat. It's for gamers mostly. That's what they kind of gear their audience to. But I think that this software is really, really, really good and could be useful for people who are doing stuff that, marketers and stuff that are doing things. And I know other marketers use it because I hear them mention it, but then they won't say how they do stuff. So since I am a gamer, I can actually, when they go, oh, you need to do this, I'm like, oh, I know what they're talking about. So it's kind of fun. But unfortunately, Marjorie, that does make it so you have to type things in because I cannot connect. And I know we talked about doing StreamYard. I think that's what we called it, StreamYard. But when I looked at it, I was like, I was trying to connect to Zoom, and it was going to be super complicated there were no instructions through StreamYard. Turns out that's the exact same way. So I went ahead and tried this one again, like I said, because I can do recording, do the overlays, do all these different things. I can stream different things. I can do a lot. Now, theoretically, I should be able to bring somebody else on as long as I can get them to me. And then I have it as an input, but that would take way too long to figure out. So, but the same problem I had. So going from here to Zoom is a third-party technology, and that particular software would not work on my computer. It could be because my computer's old, or it could be because I have too many inputs and outputs, which I suspect might be the case. So anyway, Marjorie, I know it's probably a pain on here, especially since it takes so long for stuff to show up, and I just messed it up. Now it's making it all funky. All right. So anyway, so I would recommend if you can put it on this video, that's fine, because I'll share it into the group, which I probably should have done when we got started. I'll get this flow down eventually. But yeah, go ahead and leave questions, or if you want to post the questions in the group, you can do that too. So I know you had a question earlier that looked like you got resolved, so I'm glad that worked out, because you're asking me, and I'm going, I don't let most people post. In fact, I felt bad because it was giving me a notification that Jay in our group his comment was being held for review, and I'm going, why? He should be able to auto post in here. But I think that's because he had an account, closed it, and then opened a new one, and I never did make it back in there. So I'll have to go back in and approve him. But yeah, I do appreciate you coming on, and I know one of these days we'll figure out a better solution, because StreamYard even still requires somebody to be sent a link. They have to get connected, and Yeah, it's still, that's a good tool too. And the biggest difference between the two, so if people are like, hey, which one should I do? The main difference is if you're technology savvy, even just a little bit of technology savvy, and you want to do fun stuff like this, which I think you can do some of this on StreamYard, just not all the stuff that I'm doing. If you want like full functionality over it, Streamlabs OBS, but it uses your computer for just about everything, versus StreamYard, which is all browser based, right? All browser based. So you have a better chance of not crashing your computer if you have challenges like I do, if you use theirs, if you use the StreamYard. So, and it's like a $6 difference, right? So I think it's like $25 a month, and you can stream to a couple of different locations. I think 3 maybe. So right now I'm at 2. If I wanted to go to 3, I'm fine here up to, I want to say 5 maybe. I think it's maybe 5 locations, but I think this is 100% reliant on your computer. So it's not like and I'll have to look into that. I'll have to check and see. It may not. That's maybe what you're paying for, is them to help, with it. But anyway, let's see, make sure I didn't mess anything up. Nope, I did. Yeah, I don't know how their chat thing works. So anyway, Marjorie, feel free to post in the group any other questions you might have. I know we had some Etsy updates, and well, I say Etsy updates. I think I said them last week that they're doing the star seller thing, and we've already figured out ways to cheat part of it. Not on purpose, but we were testing it. We're like, well, so what exactly does this do? So we're messing around with it. And yeah, we have to laugh when these big corporations put this in there and go, did they not think this through? They never do. It's like the stars last year. So anyway, we'll do more if somebody wants to know something about what I've talked about, or if you have, questions about topics that have been posted or anything, just feel free, whatever channel you're on, you can, comment on the video, or you can just pop into the Facebook group and put it there. All right, for now, I think we are already at 43 minutes, so we can call it good for now. And yeah, since I don't know, it just keeps changing things on me. I don't know what I'm doing with the chat. I'm really sorry. I should probably just stop playing with it. Yeah. All right, well, thanks again, Marjorie, for coming, and thank you for anybody else who may have come or is here and just was too shy. Please make sure you hold on. We've got our little subscribe, hit the notifications, and then we've got our same time, right? And Facebook too. And tell your friends. We are starting a new intake into the Facebook group where you have to opt in order to join. But since Facebook doesn't have an opt-in, there's instructions now when you try to join. So if you're new coming into it, don't worry. It's not anything horrible. It's just you sign up so that you agree to the terms, because we do have some spammers that make it in, and that's extremely time consuming. So we're going to avoid that. So thank you again, Marjorie, and I will probably end this now. So thanks everybody for watching, and